Hello and welcome to Ticket to Life. I am Henry and I will be your host. And for you new listeners, just want to let you know Ticket to Life is about anything and everything about life. And we all know about the ups and downs of life. So today we're going to be talking about the new year. Who is ready for 2025? Are we ever ready for a new year? Because you have no idea what is in store for you. We just don't. We hope for the best. We make those resolutions. Um, have you made any yet? I don't know why people. Well, yeah, I do know. It started a long, long time ago, but uh, I try to make a list. Have you made a list? Some people say, I'm making a bucket list for this year. I don't need a bucket list because I don't have plans on kicking the bucket. But who knows? This may be my year. But anyway, I don't mean to be morbid. But what a lot of people tend to do, and I am including myself in this, is we always go towards the food of what we're going to eat better this year. I'm going to diet. I don't want to get on Ozempic or do that. I want to be, I'm not bashing Ozempic. It works for some people and that's great. Good for them. But I don't want, I can do this and I know it and I'm going to exercise. I'm going to drink water. And then they, they some follow through and notice everything was about food or dieting. But I mean, a lot of people make a resolution about traveling or doing better or being a better person, learning a new skill, like learning to speak another language, um, going back to school because you're never too old to go back to school. I really believe that. Do I want to go back to school? No, I do not. But anyway, some people may even want to learn to cook. That would be a great skill because believe it or not, I hardly ever cook anymore. Well, you can probably believe that. But many of my female friends don't cook. They just don't. Uh, Most of their husbands cook for them, which is great. I have always told my husband I did my duty cooking so many meals. Um, but that's not really how that took place. I just kind of phased out of the cooking after the kids grew up and moved on, and my husband took over, and thank God his mom taught him how to cook. She was amazing. She actually taught there's 4 boys in his family, and all the sons know how to cook. So my sister-in-laws and myself, we hit the jackpot when we got our husbands. But anyway, um, so did you know that I know many people said it, you talk about phobias a lot, but there is actually, I did not know this, but there's actually a phobia, a fear of cooking. Did you know that? I had no clue. Now, bear with me. I am not an MD. I am not a dietitian, but the pronunciation is that I'm about to butcher up, no pun intended on cooking, is megaricophobia. Yes, that is the phobia of cooking. Notice I'm not pronouncing the word again. But anyway, yeah, I didn't know that there was a phobia about this, but it's interesting. And it causes anxiety. And it can be caused by something that could have happened in someone's past. Now, I am not going to lie on this. What I'm about to tell you is totally true. But when my mom would make tortillas, and she just would, it was on a comal. It's this like, it's kind of like a cast iron, but it's flat, and you put the tortillas and you turn them, make them and you put them. She would just grab them and flip them over. Well, of course, she wanted to teach me how to make my sisters and my brother. And so, but I would try it and I would always burn my fingers. I wasn't fast enough. So guess what? I don't make tortillas. I wrap them up in a wet paper towel, toss them in, and they're store-bought and toss them in the microwave. So that's how I heat them up. And my husband, he is also a cook, but he does cook and he has a catering. Well, he hasn't really catered that much recently. But anyway, barbecue, because that's really big here in Texas. But and my kids are always saying, Dad has no feeling on his fingertips. And we were at a restaurant once, and the guy said, it's a hot plate. And he just goes to grab it. And both the kids said, he has no feeling in his fingers. He's fine. But I mean, yeah, so I guess I don't know, that's crazy, right? But anyway, so there is a fear of that of cooking, and I just didn't know that. So I feel bad because some people would probably really love to learn to cook, but they have a fear of it. Maybe they cooked something and it made them sick, and that has the fear for them, and I feel for them because that would be horrible. At least for me, I think it would be. Now, if you do plan on learning a new skill, um, and I know it's hard with people who work to cook. It is. Um, I'm gonna go back to the new skill in a minute, but I used my crock pot for everything when I was cooking for the kids, and I was working full time. So I highly recommend you do that. So the crock pot or the slow cooker is your friend for them to have some good meals. But if your New Year's resolution is a skill and it's cooking, well, do I have a friend for you? And her name is Tina Butler. For real, this is a real person, a real human being that I know. And if you would like to learn to make some delicious and healthy and probably not so healthy desserts, but delicious desserts. Or they probably are healthy because she actually made. I remember tasting. She made black bean brownies, and they were delicious. They were so good. And you think black beans? They were so good, and they're good for you. But anyway, now Tina lives here in Texas, and I'm so proud of her. She had just had her first cookbook published. Um, Now she has, since I've known her, this was her passion, cooking. And I've known her for 16 years, 15 years. And may I highly, highly recommend her cookbook. I have it. It's sitting right in front of me. And some of these pictures, oh my gosh. The name of the cookbook is Simply Home Cooked. And it says simple, family friendly recipes for everyday home cooking. And Tina Butler, creator of Mommy's Kitchen. And I will tell you about Mommy's Kitchen in a minute. So I definitely recommend the cookbook. And she did not ask me to do this. She did not say, I'm going to pay you $1,000,000 if you. I am doing this because I know Tina and I know her work, and it is amazing. Her cooking is just, I can tell you, just looking at the pictures, you'll get hungry in the book. But actually, she does not live on 1,000 acres. She's in a beautiful home, and she has a typical backyard for Texas, and they're not acre lots or anything. And she transformed her backyard into a garden. She grows her own veggies, fruits. Now I don't know what if she grows all of her veggies or fruits, but and she knows how to can. She does all that neat stuff that I wish I took more time to have learned or to do. But she has been on local TV and has a very, very popular blog and an app, and it's called Mommy's Kitchen. With some recipes that are, I'm sure, in the cookbook also. And I'll give you that Simply Home Cooked cookbook. It is, it started off as a blog. See, this is what I mean. If you have a resolution and you have a dream and you have a passion, you just need to do it. Look where Tina's at now. Again, she has been on local TV. It started off with a blog. Now she has her app, and now she has a cookbook, and it's amazing. Um, she the blog started off to be she was a stay-at-home mom and just on pastime she loved to cook, and she started a blog. Well, one thing led to the other. Then she started getting sponsors by companies. Hey, can you promote because you mentioned our product, would you mind promoting it? And then she started to get paid. I guess I would think they paid her. I hope they did. But anyway, and some of these recipes are, again, in the cookbook and on her app, and they are on her blog. And I highly, highly recommend it. If this is what your you would like to learn your new skill of cooking, definitely go to her um, blog or app, Mommy's Kitchen, or purchase this home cooked, the Simply Home Cooked cookbook. I will put a link on the description of my podcast for today, and you can click that link and you can look into getting this book. So if you know you would like to definitely start family meals together, I mean, that was the thing. Having good family meals together and healthy and delicious foods and some really, really delicious desserts. My mouth is actually watering as I'm speaking and looking at the book right now. Uh-oh, I better hurry up and start those resolutions. But follow her because I highly recommend, again. Oh, and she's also on Instagram, of course, Mommy's Kitchen. And just looking at the pics, wait till you go to Instagram and look at her pictures. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. I mean, and she does all her own photography. Um, Again, it was her passion. She followed it. She did it. And I'm so proud of her. So congratulations, Tina. Um, just uh, again, it's something that I am so proud of her and so impressed by what she has done. I will get again the link for the cookbook for it. It's a wonderful cookbook, and you can buy it in hardcover or you can download it. So again, don't forget at the end of this podcast or when you go to the description, there'll be a link to her um, book to purchase. Or if not, follow her on Facebook. On I'm sure she's on Facebook on her blog or Instagram, and you will probably get hungry just looking at her pictures. But Tina, I am so proud of you and congratulations again on your you succeeding. And again, following your dream. So proud of you. Congratulations on Simply Home Cooked. Tina Butler, creator of Mommy's Kitchen. So now on to 2025 and resolutions. I think that every year I plan on eating better. Here we go again with food, eating better, and I'm successful on and off throughout the year. I'll go up. I'm the yo-yo dieter, right? And I don't like to call it dieting. I like to, because I do try. I don't really like, oh, starve myself. I don't think I've ever starved myself, like other than when I was young and thought I needed to be a twig. But you know what? I like who I am. But anyway, and that's what I do. And I do try to just cut back on what I'm eating, and it usually works. But it is what it is. And if that's what I've been doing all my life, I guess I'll be continue on doing that. And I will be looking at some good recipes in this cookbook to help me through this. It's always, I believe, about portion control. But if it works for me, I would like to. I will continue to do it, and it has. I'm 66, well, 67 by the time you hear this. But anyway, and I'm good. So I would like to ask for a favor, a simple favor. When you make a resolution, could you try your best to make what is possible for you? And if you don't succeed, guess what? You'll be fine. And time will move on. And the great thing of if it goes well, great. And if it doesn't, guess what? You get to start a new day the next day. And that is awesome. We are given a new day each and every day. So that's the thing. Some people say, oh, I just broke the resolution. I'm done. No. You know what? If you decided to walk 50 miles and then you only walked 48 and say, oh, I can't do this anymore. Because some people actually do walk 10 miles a day. I don't know why they would do that because they're healthy. Good for you if you could do that. But anyway, so that's what I always feel about resolutions. Sometimes we think we want something, then it isn't what it was cut out to be. And once we have it, we're like, why did I do this? Sometimes we try to transform ourselves in the new year or in life. And we later realize we were better off before the transformation. Now, I have a story for you. Now, it's not a real story. It's something that I read in one of my daily devotions, and I'll try to get it right as best as I can. And I think I've actually used this story before. Example. So, if you can scrub a pig and sprinkle Chanel number 5 on him, put a tie or a ribbon on his neck, and take him into your living room, but when you turn him loose, he will jump into the first mud puddle he sees because his nature has never changed. He's still a pig. Well, I really do like that. And I think that when we start looking for change in ourselves, it has to be for ourselves. And some people don't realize that we try to change for others. So if you, again, have a resolution that's going very personal to yourself, try to do that for yourself and no one else. We try to change ourselves when all we have to do is be us. You know, God doesn't look at clothes or the clothes that we wear or the car that we drive or the home that we live in or the friends that we have. He looks at our heart and how we treat this, how we treat others, how we treat our family, how we treat friends, how we treat people we meet on the street. Now, I believe that we can all use a little tweaking when it comes to being kind to everyone, even though we aren't fond of them. I have a friend, and I'm very fond of her, but I have a friend who is she's a good person, but for some reason we just do not see eye to eye on things. But guess what? That's okay. We are all entitled to our own opinion, right? I mean, this is what Ticket to Life is. These are all my opinions. These are my thoughts. And you don't have to agree with them. You can hate them, but these are just my opinions, and I thank you for listening to them. But I will say this, though. We are always cordial, my friend and we are kind to one another. And if she needed something, I'd be there in a heartbeat. Because guess what? We're not always going to see eye to eye with people, but we can be kind. We can be kind. And I really believe that we all have that power to be kind and to be cordial. We may not like someone, you know, I don't know why people, and I'm included. I haven't always been like I am now. But just not fond of what they do, though, not their looks. I love people. People are who they are, and I love that people look different. And I have always thought it's just, I guess, but getting older again, getting older. It's such a gift to be able to get older and mature, and for me to find God and have God in my life. You know, we were in Kansas last week, and we go to West Side Church there in Lenexa, Kansas, and it is just an amazing church. We have our own church here, but we watch West Side every weekend. But it's funny when you go into another place to worship and you feel different. You literally feel God's presence. And if you've never done that, and if you're ever in Lenexa, Kansas, or can pick up on West Side Family Church, I believe it is Family Church. That's where my daughter goes. But anyway, and it's just an amazing church, and I am so thankful for it. My husband and we have been transformed because of this church, and that's horrible to say because I'm Catholic, and no, it's not horrible, but just how things are so different. But so if there's any Catholics out there, don't hate me. So I still go to Catholic church, so I do double duty, and I do have a good friend who her husband they believe they were Baptists, or they are Baptists, and he has converted to Judaism. So, you know what? He's happy. The family's happy, everyone's accepted, so it doesn't matter. It's just so important to open your heart, and not just a religion, but that is a priority, uh, in my opinion. But it is amazing for us to open our heart to others. Oh, excuse me, it just hit my mic. Um, and to always learn. That's one thing I would ask that if you could do also. Oh, look at me, I'm full of favors. This year, now this is big. You've got to learn to forgive others. As hard as that can be, as bad as someone has hurt you, you have got to learn to forgive. It is tough. I'm not going to lie. But if you hold on to that and don't live in the now, you're going to lose out, because that past will follow you forever and ever and ever. And that's not a good thing. And I'm sorry for those of you who did not have a good relationship with your parents, or your spouse or ex spouses or friends. But you've just got to learn to move on from that and forgive them. And trust me, you're never going to forget. You will never forget, especially if it was very hurtful. But know in your heart you are, and it's not easy. It's not, but it is so much better for you to be able to forgive and move on. I have had people hurt me in the past, and I've forgiven them, but I have moved on. Sometimes I may think about it and shed a tear. Wah. But I come back to my senses and think that's in the past. There's nothing I can do about it. And it's okay. It's okay to, at least in my opinion. Don't forget, I'm not a doctor, a transformer. Oh, Lordy. I promise, no mimosas this morning. I'm not a doctor or a life coach or a therapist. I'm just Henrie. And these are my thoughts. But it is so good. If God can forgive us for our sins, and we can forgive someone for hurting us, and we need to move on, because if you hold on to something like that, it will wreck your life if you can't let it go. And it does hurt when someone hurts you, like physically, mentally, emotionally. It's horrible. But know that you're worth more than what that person has done to you, and that you are loved no matter what. But again, in 2025, make sure we try to do what we want to do for ourselves. If it's going to help us to be a better person, then go for it. Make sure that we can. When I say we, I am included in everything I am saying. I am throwing myself in this, because I need to make some changes still. And I'm just not talking about eating either. I need to make changes for myself. Sometimes we really have that. That's a hard thing for people to do. But if you are thinking of changing for health or jobs or relationships or whatever, please, please, please do that. If it's going to help you health, I mean, because your family needs you, your friends need you, I need you. I'd be talking to somewhere in space if you weren't around. But anyway, I'm hoping that many of you will find something wonderful. And you know what? If you don't want to make resolutions, you don't have to. There's no law that says you have to. But we have many changes in 2025. We're getting a new president I don't care if you don't like him. I don't care. But you need to pray for guidance. I know a lot of people are cringing right now. Now, I didn't say I liked him. But I'm just saying we need to pray for guidance in the United States. We need to stay strong, and we need to make sure that God has our back, as he always does, because sometimes our leaders do not have our back. But I hope that he does well. And again, we need to pray for our country and around the world, because we really need to pray for peace in the world. I just I don't get why so many people are angry. Maybe that's what my goal should be. I should hold a rally for people. Just be happy, be peaceful. Now, this is off the record here. That's not even about resolutions. But if you do something wrong, admit to it. You know, I mean, sometimes we make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. We're human. but we have got to own up to it, because that too you will carry on, because when you know you've done something wrong, it just stays with you. But anyway, enough of the lecturing of what you can and cannot do for 2025. I just hope you have a wonderful year. I hope good things come your way. I hope your health is well. I hope that your family relationships are great. And I hope if you have, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it again, uh, a fear of cooking or any type of fear, that you're able to seek some help. And also, again, like I've said in the past, um, the the holidays have a tendency of being sad. So, on my description, also, other than Simply Home Cooked by Tina Butler, I have some phone numbers in case you are in need of help 24/7. It's there. And if you don't want to use that phone number, God is always there 24/7, and He will listen to you, and you might feel a lot better just talking to Him. But let me give you those numbers instead of just telling you they're on my description, because they're very important numbers. And the first one is for Domestic Violence Hotline, and they are there 24/7. They have professional people that are there to talk to you and help you through whatever you are going through. And that is 1-800-799-7233. And also, you can text 88788. Again, this number is at the bottom of the description of the podcast if you're driving, just in case. You can check on that. And the suicide prevention is 988, or you can text 988, and someone will be there to help you. So this is Henrie, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you, and I hope that you have a wonderful end of 2024. And if anything has happened in your past year, put it behind you and move on, because you're going to be given another new year by the grace of God. And please don't forget to definitely go to the link for Simply Home Cooked by Tina Butler and check out this book. I'll take a picture and put it on my Instagram account on Ticket to Life. And if you have anything you would like to reach out to me, you are able to do that. Also on the description, there's a thing that says send us a message. So again, happy 2025, and I hope you go and find your blessings. Until then, have a great one.